life, those ones that are watching me right now. So I'll be reading from the book of Genesis 37, 5:11, and it's talking about, this is a story of Joseph. As you know, all know, I relate to the character Joseph so much. I love Joseph so much in the Bible. That's the character that I relate a lot, a lot, a lot. And I feel so good when I read his story, and even when I get to, God reveals to me about his story. It's talking about when Joseph had a dream in the book of Genesis 37, 5 and 11. And when he had a dream, my topic today, before I continue, it's elevation through challenges. Elevation through challenges, it just means that when you are elevated from one point to another, when God takes you from one point to another, but he doesn't take you from, that smooth, sweet, that silver platter kind of story. He takes you through challenges. You feel like, sometimes I always talk to people and I'm telling them, it's like you're doing somersaults. You are doing somersaults. The other time you are turning, the other time you're standing, the other time you're standing, the other time you're turning, you're falling down. It is just a roller coaster. And this is the time when Joseph had a dream, from verse 5. And when he told his brothers, they hated him even more. This time he had his brothers hated him. But when he now has a dream, it's like when you feel, people think that you feel so entitled that wewe ndio peke yake unazoota, And he had a dream, and as you all know, he had a dream. And as you can read it for yourself, because I don't want to take too much of your time. And it's from 37, Genesis 37, 5 to 11. It's talking about the dream of Joseph until he comes to be sold by his brothers, as you all know the story. And one thing I want to tell you is that when God wants to elevate you, the people around you can be used as the challenge. When God wants to lift you from one point to another, let me tell you, my friend, the people around you, your family, your friends, your co-workers, your neighbors, God can use them actually as the people who are going to, as the challenge itself. They can be the ones who are, have you ever tried, you're trying everything, but they are the challenge. You try doing this, you try being good, you try doing this, but they are the challenge. Sometimes God can use them as the challenge. And that's why you find, after they did all these things, if it were not for Joseph's brothers hating him, he could not have found himself in Egypt. So sometimes God can use people to hate you. They can be the challenge, but God knows, I'm going to use these ones to hate you, but they're the ones who are going to send you into the place where the dream is going to be manifested. Because his dream could not have been manifested since angeenda aje, angekuwa like angejipata aje Egypt. But it happened because God used them as challenges. Sometimes that's why you find people, after God has taken you through, through that, God could have used your mother to hate you, your siblings to hate you, your father to hate you. But that is a time where you find God has used that as a stepping stone to your next level. Because a challenge, sometimes when God uses this as a challenge, it elevates you to your next. So it can be a stepping stone to your next. And these brothers of Joseph, they were the stepping stone to Joseph's new level. And this we find in the book of Genesis 37, the same chapter, verse 28. He said that the Midianite traders passed by, and they drew Joseph up and lifted him out of the pit. These are now the brothers to Joseph. They are drawing him out of the pit and sold him to the Ishmaelites for 20 shekels of silver. They took Joseph to Egypt. They were just like a transport. Walitumika kama SGR ndio wampikishe Egypt. And that's why you find, do not hate these people. Do not, yes, I know there's that pain. I'm not even trying to kutoa your pain. There's that pain. But with time, speak to God and tell him, help me to forgive them, because they were just, as challenges that helped me to elevate to my next level. Point number 2 is, for you to be elevated, you have to fight the giants. Let me tell you, the giants, God, if you want God to bless you, he's not going to remove the giants and make, God is not like that kind of a father who will just bring you everything in a silver platter. And as you see, even in the world we live in, if any father is just giving their sons and daughters, everything in a silver platter, let me tell you, those children might not turn out as fighters and even as strong as you'd think. Yes, maybe they can survive because of 1, 2, or 3, maybe the money, the wealth that you have given them. But I'm talking about being fighters, people who can hold on even when, the challenges come, even after you're not there. And so God is not this kind of a person who will just give you. You want land, take it. You want a good husband, take it. You want this and this, take it. God drives us through challenges. And that's why you find in the Bible, everybody who was taken by God, he went through some sort of challenge. And that's why you find, there are so many people who went through a lot of challenges. We talk about the children of Israel. And these children, this time when Caleb is saying, God, I need this mountain. He speaks to Joshua and says, I need my mountain, because, in the time when Moses sent us as spies, he promised that he was going to give me this land. And when Caleb is being given this land, the giants and everything that lives there, they are left there for him to fight. So sometimes God will not say that nimekondolea kila kitu, now come and live and sleep and do everything. He knows we are human beings. He understands us because he made us, he formed us. So he knows if I give this person this, he will relax and forget about me, and he will not be a strong person who can fight in the midst of challenges. We know about Jesus Christ. When he was brought to earth, he did not just start ministry like that. When he grew up and he was of age to start his ministry, we see that he was taken to the wilderness. He went there, he was elevated for him to come and start doing miracles, because before he went to the wilderness, he did not perform any miracles. I'm not saying he didn't have the power, I'm just saying he had not done any miracles. But when you see him back after the wilderness, he comes and performs the miracles we see and speak about nowadays. And that's why you find that, for God to put you in a place, sometimes he can use challenges. He will use challenges so that he can take you to the next level. And we see Jesus being taken to the next level. And we see Joseph being taken to the next level. And we talk about Caleb being taken to the next level. He attains land. He gets a mountain because he conquered the challenge. And that's why you find Gideon is called by God. He's not called and told, I've called you and everything. Just go and speak a word and all your enemies are defeated. He's told, your first assignment is to go to your father's house and utoanishe those gods, those altars, and uvunja those altars. It was not easy. It was a challenge, but that's how Gideon was elevated to his next level, being someone who can go as a warrior and win battles. And that's why you find that even when David was called, and he came the first time he was called by God, he was anointed, yes, but when he came to bring food, Goliath was a challenge, and that was a challenge. And after that, you see so many challenges. Saul was a challenge to David, and so many. And that's why you find, for him to be a king, he had to go through a lot of challenges so that he can be elevated to the next level. And I'm here to speak to anybody who feels like they're giving up. I'm telling you, kaza kamba tusonge, because these challenges that you are going through, they might be taking you to the next level. So that the next thing is, God is with you during those challenges. And that is what I love about our Father, because he will never leave you. He will take you through the challenges, but he will always be there. When you call upon him, when you are in the midst of challenges, when you feel like I am giving up, I cannot do this anymore, he's just like, continue, I'm holding your hand, my presence is with you. And the thing about that, when the children of Israel were going through the wilderness, when they were going through that wilderness, God was always there with them. He led them through a cloud by day, and at night he led them through through fire. He was there with them. His presence was always there. And as I'm speaking to you right now, you feel like you're giving up, you feel like the challenges are too much, and I'm here to speak to you and tell you that God is there. God is there holding your hand, and that's why you have not slept hungry. And if you are even sleeping hungry, that's why you have not even died, and that's why your children are still alive, and that's why you're still alive and today, because he is still there. He is still holding your hand. You just have to look for him around there and ask him, God, where are you? Hold my hand, I'm falling. Hold my hand, because I don't see clearly, and he will lead you, because he is a God who is there even in the midst of challenges. And this we find in the book of Genesis 39 and 2, and even Genesis 39 21, and the word is saying the Lord was with Joseph, and he became a successful man, and he was in the house of the Egyptian master. Even when Joseph thought, I'm far away from home, my brothers have betrayed me, I am in the midst of a house, I am a slave in a master's house, in an Egyptian master's house, but God was with Joseph and he favored him. And in the book of Genesis 39:21 is saying that in the prison, Joseph was in the prison when he was thrown in the prison, things were getting tougher and tougher, but the word is saying, but the Lord was with Joseph and showed him steadfast love and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. Even in prison, God was with Joseph and he favored him in prison. I'm just here to remind you that even though you are going through prisons, even though you are going through a lot of challenges, God is trying to elevate you. Even though he is elevating you through challenges, that he is still there and he's going to give you favor. That's why you have not been fired, and that's why you still get some little money from somewhere, because he is still there. And the next point is, even as you continue to wait on God, he will give you strength to conquer. The word of God is saying, this point is saying that even as you continue to wait, because it is a waiting process. When you're going through the challenges, it is you waiting for the promise that God gave you, for the dream that God gave you, for the vision that God gave you. And he's saying that even though even if you continue to wait on God, he will give you the strength to conquer. And that's why you find yourself waking up in the morning, unaraukia tu hiyo kibarua. And that's why you wake up in the morning and you still have that husband of yours. And that's why you find that you wake up in the morning and you find strength to continue working in that space that you don't feel like you need it. That's why you find the strength to love your children even though they are all going astray, because God is going to continue giving you strength. And this we find in the book of Isaiah 40:31, Isaiah 40:30. I love this word so much, and I have to read it. Isaiah 40:30-31. I love this word so much, and God gave me this word at a time when I was feeling like I was giving up too. Even youth shall faint and be weary, and young men shall fall exhausted. You meet someone and you tell them, but I'm stressed. Hey, uko stressed? Na hauna watoto, na hauna familia, na hauna gari, na hauna nini? They start counting this. But the word is saying, even the youth, us who don't have children, us with children who are young couples, us who are very strong when you look at us physically, but the word is saying, even us, we grow, we shall, even the youth shall faint and be weary. And the young men, I was giving an example of a friend of mine who is very strong. And I was saying, even him, he can get weary and fall exhausted. But the word of God is saying in the book of Isaiah 40:31 that, but they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. I am here to speak to you that continue waiting upon the Lord. I know he is rising you up through challenges, a lot of challenges. Young girls, they are going through a lot of challenges. You are the one who is providing for your family. You are the one who is being waited at home because they don't have this and this and this, because they cannot provide for themselves, because your parents are old. But I'm here to tell you that even though the challenges are too hard, because God is elevating you through the challenges, he is saying that I'm going to be giving you strength. Continue waiting upon me. I'm going to give you the strength of an eagle, and you're going to mount up. The eagle goes higher and higher. You're going to soar so high that people are going to look at you and wonder where do you get your strength from? And even though you have been kicked so hard, even though you have fallen so many times, but the word is saying, even when you continue waiting upon the Lord, he will give you the strength. You will mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. You continue running, you continue walking, you continue doing all those things. As a young woman, you're trying to struggle. As a single mother, you're trying to struggle for your children. And I'm here to tell you that you continue doing it. But when you continue waiting upon the Lord, even though he's rising you up through the challenges, even though he's elevating you through the challenges, he's saying he's going to give you the strength to continue. Even when you run, even when you continue looking for school fees, even as you continue, waiting for a husband, waiting for a wife, God is going to give you the strength that you require. I'm just here to give you the courage that you need, that God is rising you up through challenges. Maybe your parents didn't work as hard as and you have to work so hard, to make those connections because they didn't give you the connections you need. Maybe you are there and you feel so low. You wonder, where am I going to come? I've tried music, I've tried this, I've tried businesses, I've tried this, and I'm here to tell you that God is there with you. He was with Joseph in prison. He was with Joseph in slavery. He can be with you anywhere. We call him an omnipresent God. He's always there. He's always there. So don't lose hope. Continue having strength in God, because he's going to renew your strength. He's going to give you the strength to soar up, and people are going to look at you, and one day you're going to give your testimony, and people are going to look at you, and you not look like that testimony, because they are going to be like, where are those scars? But God will lift you up, because after this, the story of Joseph takes us to when Joseph now is there, taken out of prison, being shaved and dressed in the best clothes, and he's there to sit with the king. He's second in command after the king. And I'm here to tell you that there's a dream coming true. There's a vision coming true. Do not give up. Continue waiting. Though the vision may tarry, it will come to pass. Do not be afraid that the vision is taking long, that the dream is taking long. Joseph felt like his dream was taking long, a dream he had as a young man, but now it was taking long. David being anointed as a young person, but he came to sit on the throne after a long time. Do not feel, though the vision tarries, it will come to pass. I'm just here to encourage you that yes, God is using the challenges to elevate you, but a time is coming and you will sit on the throne, and people will look at you, and you will not look like the testimony. You will not look like the tests you went through. God bless you. Have an amazing week. I feel like praying, but may God bless you.